Stand by for the Comic Industry Insiders live pre-show. Stand by graphics. Cue graphics. Roll intro. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start pre-show. Cue logo intro. We're live, people.
We are live, people. We are not dead, people. I'm going to make that joke till it's funny. It's funny to me, so I'm going to keep making it. And you can call me Q Logo. It's like Q Ball, but different. Speaking of Q Balls, Brian, what...
Oh, wow. Wow. It's fine. It's fine, but wow.
I don't feel a little bad. It's the pre-show banter. It's a conversation that we have before the conversation of Comic Industry Insiders Live. It's an opportunity for us to let you and Marvin Wynn jump into the room.
Hi, Marvin.
It's really our opportunity to say hi to Marvin. We do this every week, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. We talk about comics because our wives really are tired of hearing about it. That's
so
really
tired.
the secret reason that we're here.
Yeah. Especially like we're kind of knee deep in con season. Like Fan Expo Canada is next Friday. How did that happen? So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What are you doing for Fan Expo
crazy.
Canada? Anything in particular?
I'm just going on the Friday, I think. I try and avoid it if I can because it's not super conducive to business, honestly. I've done it a couple times as like a business thing, but like we're talking 160,000 people, and like none of the vendors are there to talk about their point of sale systems. That is the last thing on their mind.
No.
So yeah, I'll just go.
They're all
check
really focused in on how do I turn this expense and effort into anything.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like the amount of logistics involved, and like some of these guys are bringing like literally a transport truck full of stuff to this show. And they'll have two separate booths, one in the South Hall, one in the North Hall. So there's a couple vendors like that just like it's got to be at least $20,000 to $30,000 just in setup. Like that's crazy.
One of the the only time I ever did Fan Expo Canada, it actually pertains to a story that pertains to this. I was looking to find anybody who worked there because I don't know how much better it is, but that year it was impossible to find anybody who worked for Fan Expo. Like they were just not to be found. Unlike somebody who's going to be a guest in the show later today, could not find them anywhere. So I went looking. I eventually found the show office, and I went in, and there's a guy who's I can't remember his name. James, I want to say.
Yeah, James actually passed away recently.
No, James from Stylin Online.
Oh no, that's a different guy. Yeah.
Anyway, I remember James' last name. Might be, I don't know, whatever. So James was in there stacking money, cash. And unlike American money, which is all nice and regimented and green and all the same shape, it was like just stacks of green and purple and fuchsia. And I don't really remember what colors.
Red,
but it was crazy. It was like this. It was an insane amount of cash. And I went, oh, he's playing a different game than I'm playing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so hey, for those of you who normally come here, we pack in like our show, but this part is us just chattering like we're doing right now. This week we wanted to we only had a small window, but we wanted to make sure that we brought in somebody special. Prana Publishers, for those of you who know, is we do a number of things for comics publishing. One of those things is something we call distribution aggregation or publisher aggregation for distributors. We bring publishers together, we put them into different platforms so they can go out to different comic shops. One of those publishers is going to be coming up, we're going live with this week, and is going to be on sale in November. And that publisher is, my brain just went completely up. That is really, Frank, what am I doing? Third Contact. Oh, fuck off.
Oh, good. I didn't have to say it myself.
Man, thank you for being here and for bailing me out so that I could.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. Yes, Megan, I get it. Yeah, she does this for me all day long. I spend most of Megan's job is just being in the meeting. So I go, what's that guy's name? And she remembers, and then I feel dumb. So
sometimes you need an external hard drive. It's just the way
truly.
it is.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Frank, tell us about Third Contact Comics. We're so excited to have you guys in the catalogs and available for comic shops this week.
Thank you so much.
With the publisher, and then we'll talk about your first book.
Third Contact is essentially me and my partner with partnership with Gerald von Stoddard, who is primarily an artist. I'm primarily a writer. And we put out a lot of crazy books. We make a lot of crazy stories together in trying to figure out our vibe, what we're about. Gerald came up with the tagline, Comics from the Edge, which is we're not really one thing. We just try to push the envelope. We try to embody old school Vertigo style of comics. And as we're going to do, our first one is Immortal Coil, which we think totally resonates with that kind of feel.
Brian, were you able to pull up Immortal Coil? We sent you a few pages, so yeah. Anyway,
just working on that right now, but I will get that up before we're done.
Awesome. Let's talk really quickly because we want to bring in the rest of our crew here for a little bit of pre-show. But tell us really quickly about Immortal Coil and why retailers should be looking out for it when they get up closer to FOC.
So Immortal Coil, essentially, it's a mashup of eldritch horror, like Lovecraftian monsters and stuff, and a reimagining of Norse mythology. So you have some ancient gods that are coming back to life in the modern world, and they face off against these crazy horror, Lovecraftian, the undescribable. That's when you try to make a comic out of that. How do you draw it? But no, we have a blast with it. Originally, Gerald described it as horror, but it's a lot more than that. I mean, we're realizing it's dark fantasy. It's got some superhero action, some epic scenes. So we kind of throw all these different elements in a blender together, and Immortal Coil is what we came up with.
That's awesome. Well, we are really looking forward to it. I know that we were able to have you on for a short window today, so thanks for coming on. I will tell you, we're going to have, especially as we get closer to FOC, we'll have a whole lot more art and everything to share, but we wanted to take this opportunity just to, give us a chance to announce you and have a conversation and get it in front of everybody. So really looking forward to it. Looking forward to having you and Gerald back on as we get a little closer to FOC.
I appreciate it. Everything we do is a labor of love, so we want to talk about it as much as possible.
I appreciate that too. Let's, if you don't mind, let's bring in some other folks here because we always, or otherwise, I always like to say hi to a few of our friends. This
I got a couple more minutes.
Kind of like loosening up before the real show starts.
Warm up. Everybody's got to stretch.
Joe, you've been having you and I were talking. You had the biggest week of your like little fandom heart last week, didn't you? You told me about this.
Oh yeah. Well, specifically, I think I know what you're talking about. Comics, the magazine. I don't think it's announced yet, but it's our magazine, right? We can do whatever we want.
We announce what we want.
Had a series of conversations with Kevin Smith for issue number 9 of Comics, the magazine, and I'm happy to report the guy rules. He is very cool and is the real deal. And it's actually one of my favorite and longest conversations I've had. So I tried to convince Adam to let me run a 25-page version of it. He said no. So
as the publisher, occasionally I have to be an adult, and I resent you for making me do it, frankly.
Yeah,
whatever.
But that would be cool, and I could do it.
That's amazing.
So we'll see what I get. But yeah, it was awesome. And we do talk about Marvel and Star Wars. We talk about just being in comics in general, and business from his perspective. As like people forget, like as a retailer too, because he owns James Hypopsy chest. So anyway,
sounds like he's got a real career in front of him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do well. Kevin Smith, future's bright.
The kid's got a bright future.
Yeah, so.
He's he seems to be multi-talented. We'll see how it goes.
Time will tell.
I will tell you one of my favorite moments. We're going to talk a lot about conventions this week. Is at San Diego this year was I was up early waiting for early meeting out in sort of a common area that everybody meets, and I saw Kevin Smith and his wife walking across the kind of yard area there, and he was legitimately cosplaying as Kevin Smith. It was him, but with like combat boots and a trench coat and a hockey jersey underneath the trench coat and the cap. And I'm like,
that's his costume.
I think he's just the guy. I think it's just the guy. You know, like,
is that how he does it?
Just sincerely, dude loves comics. Dude loves all this stuff, you know? And we even talked a little bit about like, so when you got popular, I noticed the first thing you did was like have Stan Lee in your movie before that was like a thing. Yeah. And then have a bunch of artists draw your guys. I'm just like, how much of that was just like, I'm popular now or I'm successful now. I'm going to open these doors. Anyway, yeah, cool guy. Comics Magazine number 9.
Comics Magazine number 9.
Stan Lee always kind of credited him with being the guy that got him the Marvel cameos. Like, that became a thing because they saw how good he was in Mallrats. And like Mallrats, man, he's actually got a moving part where he like, you know, kind of touches your heartstrings. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out to all be fake, which is the best part of that whole story.
And I'm not going to tell you that because I'm going to say it for the magazine, but there's a story behind that story about why it's fake. Yeah. Anyway.
That's cool. I thought I knew this story, and now I don't know that I know this story.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to ask somebody who might actually have interacted with Kevin on a more professional basis, even though he's looking down, and I'm going to bring him in, and that's how he learns how we play this game. Brad, have you ever had Kevin Smith at the show?
Yes, Kevin and Jason came to the show, and they premiered an animated film. They were traveling the country with this animated film. I don't know that I've ever seen it anywhere else, but we showed it up on the big screen and filled the ballroom, and he did a little Q&A before and after, and it was a great experience having those guys in.
That's awesome. Brad Tree, by the way, everybody, runs Baltimore Comic-Con. And if you've ever been in, I have a whole intro for you, Brad. But if you've ever been in Baltimore Comic-Con, you've heard his voice because he is the guy on the loudspeaker. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I won't claim to run it. There's a group of us that put it together and make it happen. And chief among those is Mark Nathan, owner and promoter of the show. And then I've got
Mark Nathan. I don't know. I know that name. Who's that? Oh, I'm kidding. Love you, Mark. Hi, Shelly.
No, there's a crew of us. It's kind of like that old Little Rascals bit where hey, my dad's got a stage. I think I got a curtain. Someone bring over their speakers, and we put on a show. It's I don't remember the question anymore, but
that's all
it's right. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes were fine guests for the show. And we've considered bringing them back one of these days.
You should.
Sure. You should. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's just Kevin dressing as Kevin all the time. I
God bless
him. He always seems to have that uniform on.
It's a good point. Maybe so. Maybe I'm just cosplaying as Adam. Maybe that's really the secret. You all know. You know.
I've been accused of it with polo shorts and cargo shorts. It's just, wear, right?
You got a uniform. Speaking of uniforms, I'm not wearing a hat this week, but I did want to say hi to the show's producer in our last minute before we go.
I do have a uniform. It's always those glasses, that hat. I can't seem to only wear a t-shirt. I always have something over it. I don't know why. It makes me feel safe. But yeah, we realized this last week. I fully have a uniform because Adam was wearing it, and I considered litigation.
All right. Well, Frank and Joe, if you don't mind sticking around, we have one more thing for you. Frank, thank you for coming on, Frank. And we're really looking forward to the book. So fantastic! I can't wait to show the world what you guys have been working on. It's gonna be good.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time. Have a good day, guys.
Brad, we'll see you in a little bit. We're going to knock everybody out of here. All righty. We're going to knock everybody out of here, and we're going to get this ball rolling. We're going to light this candle. We're going to
knock me out of here.
Do another metaphor that is less violent. I don't really have another metaphor. I'm just waiting. I'm really just waiting now for the button to be pushed. All right. Just you and me now. Welcome to the show that never ends, or at least we really hope it will never end. That's right. It's the comic book industry. It will break your heart, but only if you're that one painter that Jack Kirby was talking to that one time. The rest of you, it'll actually feed you. It will create new opportunities for you. It'll give you a career and a family, and so long as you're not too picky, it might even make you a small fortune. But let's not talk about that, because when you talk about small fortunes and you talk to independent folks, we all get a little bit testy, and this guy gets the testiest. I don't know why that transition.
You get the testiest?
Testiest.
Okay.
You get a little testiest.
All right.
I'm just saying, like,
we can say that in
you could be making a lot more money somewhere else.
That is
and
true.
Now talking about trying to make money here in the comics industry, that's a challenge in of itself.
I was literally thinking about that this morning when I was considering going over to the warehouse this morning, and I was like,
yeah,
maybe I can just work on work instead of making tens of dollars. I can make hundreds of dollars maybe today.
Maybe I don't know.
We'll see.
We're making a show here today. You know this? We do a show every week. I'm trying to keep it tight. I'm trying to keep this front part tight because we have a couple of guests that we're going to lose otherwise. So this is me not completely bantering. Okay. So let's get down to business.
You want to get down to business? Well, why don't we start it right off, at the very top?
Dude.
This episode is about the hidden shows you aren't going to. I did not get the memo about which shows we were going to cover, and so I covered some shows that we're going to cover in the shows that you're not going to. But that's fine. That's fine.
Totally fine.
We're gonna talk deep with them.
You know what? Nobody. Actually, go back to that. Let's go back to what this show is about. If you're a comics fan and you're watching this, and you've only ever been to San Diego Comic-Con, or you've only ever been to New York Comic-Con, or maybe you've only ever been to your local comic shop, right? You are missing out. You got to dig a little deeper, because for those of us who live this life, there's a big portion there are people in this world who I consider family, people who I love and would step in front of a train for, that I've never been in my home. And even if they live in my own town, I don't see them unless we're somewhere else. We're in, like, seriously, it's incredible that there are people in my life that I genuinely love, who I just only see at comic book conventions, because that's where our culture is. That's who we are. So we're going to talk today about the shows that you're missing. They're going to talk about a number of shows that some of them we made slides for, and some of them we didn't make slides for. And we're going to try. We
did make slides for them.
Dirk gave me a huge list, and did we remember that list when we were making the slides? Of course we did. We just chose not to use some of them.
But Dirk, mention them in the comments, and we'll see if we've been to any of these.
And you know what? If you are in our chat, please do tell us, what is your favorite show? What is your favorite convention you not miss? Can't be New York, can't be San Diego. I want to hear which one you would go to, even if you had to pay to go. Since most of us don't longer pay to go, we go, or if we do, it's for, hopefully with some return on investment. Like, if you were just going as a fan, what would you go? What is your favorite show of the year? What are the ones you absolutely won't miss? All right, cool. There you go. Thank you, Dirk. I appreciate you. Let's get those follow-ups in. All right, cool. Now, if you're also in the chat, how about an opportunity to win something? I'm going to bring in a special guest to talk about the thing that we're winning. Let's go, Joe. How you doing, buddy?
Folks.
What am I holding in my hand right here? What is this?
Yeah, so that is a hardcover of The Future Is, I think, number 2 through 7. So the first hardcover is like one done in one story. The rest of it is this is like origins of all the characters. So it's in depth, drawn by Ennio Buffi and Mario de Alessandro. It's beautiful. It's really cool. If you've never read The Future Is, you can just start right here. So
also with interstitial pages by Ryan Hughes. Some in here. Also, all these incredible covers. The cover artist.
Yep.
Like this is a fantastic piece. This was only available in our Kickstarter. We're gonna give it away today. So how do we do that? Let's see.
There we go. We're gonna hit a hashtag.
All right.
This week the hashtag is
Oh, let's go.
CII Live.
CII
That's
Live.
the letter C, the letter I, then an L, then an I, then an V, and then an E.
What, can you do that again?
No,
Okay,
I can't.
Okay, fine. CII Live. That stands for Comic Industry Insiders Live. You put that into the chat with your hashtag ahead of time. Somebody's going to go home with this hardcover. We're going to put it into the mail for you. You're going to get it. You're going to love it. This is Joe and I worked really well. Joe did. I didn't work all that hard, really. I mostly just take credit for his hard work. But some incredible creators put this thing together. And
is that like a foil cover?
It's
really fancy.
What do you call it?
No, but it
Spot
goes.
cloth.
I don't know if you can see. It's embossed. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. With the that's really
With that
cool.
logo,
Password
that
protection.
Yeah, with those little asterisks.
Man, that looks like a 102 character password. I love it. That's secure.
Yeah.
Nobody, including you, will ever crack that password.
That's right. Exactly.
Truly secure. Man, I just don't go to that website anymore. You know, who needs a bank?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm sure your account will be fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Anyway, so yes, hashtag CII Live. Let's get we'll get one of you folks will go home with this by the end of the show. Joe, do you have you uploaded the book yet? Have you uploaded the magazine yet?
It's about to be uploaded. Yeah. Can I plug a secret show that I
please.
recommend people go to?
Yeah.
So I do love Baltimore Comic Con, by the way, but you'll learn more about that later. I will say my favorite is other than that is Frankenstein's Comic Swap in Portland, Oregon. It's put on by the guys at Cosmic Monkey Comics. It's just a bunch of dealer tables. It's 6 hours. It's far away from my house. I will drive there to go. It is that enjoyable. It's just a bunch of weirdos selling comics, my fellow people. So good
Sorry,
stuff.
I have to jump in.
Comic
I
Swap.
live in Portland. I second this. It's
nice.
It's just a bunch of tables, and I mean, it's nothing fancy, but like anybody who works in comics, also, you're likely to bump into somebody that you know. I swear, every time I go to that one, I'm seeing somebody from Oni, of course, or fellow artists that live not just in Portland. I mean, I've seen people come down from really far away. So yeah, really good pull that I wouldn't have thought of as a secret con, but it totally is. It's just a little bit more of like garage sale, flea markety kind of a swap.
That's my
thing,
vibe,
and it's awesome. Yeah,
that's my. It's like you want some weird paperbacks or some old comics magazine you don't remember? Come on down to Frankenstein's Comic Swap,
and it's all the stuff you didn't know you needed until you saw it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Awesome. Okay,
I thought you guys were going to talk about Frankensons in L.A. Have you ever been there?
That place is cool too.
No, this is related to Frankenstein, the creator of the monster. But yes, Frankensons is also good.
Frankensons.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, it's just like a basically giant swap meet. It's incredible. We used to buy all of our supplies when I ran a comic shop. We would buy them at Frankensons just because there were dealers there and you didn't have to go anywhere else. Anyway, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna bring TCAF up when we get to that because Jamie's right. TCAF. Have you ever been to TCAF?
I have not, but it is now run by a good friend of mine, Amy, whose last name I can't remember right this second. She is now running that show. So I'm looking at some point I'm going to go. There's no question about it.
Yeah, you got to come. Well, because we got to hang out in Canada sometime. I keep coming into the United States and hanging out. You got to come up here.
Yeah, but I might not be able to come back.
That's your problem. I've got the opposite. I may never be allowed to enter again. But it's okay. I got a bed over here. You can hang out.
Why not? We'll do it. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Amy Wright. Thank you. Amy is wonderful. She's one of my favorite people. She was a librarian for the longest time, and now she runs TCAF. And well, she's a delight. You walk in the room, you see Amy. She's like, she just lights up a corner. She's always in the corner somewhere. Yeah, there you go. All right. Awesome. Let's go. Let's get into it. So
we're going to start off with the headlines.
Yes.
Then we're going to talk about the hidden shows. Then we're going to jump right into the bestseller list. And then we're going to wrap this thing up before 3 p.m. We're going to be in and out.
Let's go. Let's get this done. Let's go, baby. Tight 60. Let's go. We can do this.
Tight 60.
We can do this. You know what? I'm not prepped for any of our news this week. Just letting you know. This is all off
You don't need to be. This is all. So last week's show, we missed probably the biggest story, which is weird because it should be bigger than it's been. It's so bizarre. Like 8 years ago, this would have been the biggest story in media, and
Yeah.
this thing kind of just got released on a Tuesday and bubbled away. Um, Star Wars and Marvel are colliding in a comic crossover event written by Kevin Smith. Every one of those years, 8 years ago, words 8 years ago would have been, this is the biggest thing to come out ever.
That's very
But
true. And one of the I was teeing up Joe, who didn't tell the story that I thought he was going to tell. I'm going to tell it, Joe. If you are angry with me, I don't care. But he said that he was talking to Kevin. You did an interview with him. He said he could fill in 25 pages. I believe him. He with this story, and then they went down, and then the news came up, and then Kevin immediately said, "Hey, do you want to get back on and talk about this event?"
oh, that's awesome.
So go
Yeah.
check out. This is going to be Comics and Magazine number 9. You're gonna love this. Yeah, we are so excited.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Star Wars, Marvel, Kevin Smith, all in one. This by the way, this is what we're talking about. Marvel. Let's get some people's attention. Let's get people in the door. Let's put some butts in seats. Who doesn't
I gotta
show up?
say, yeah, I gotta say that the new like there's very obviously been some like small changes that have happened at Marvel since Steve Wacker took over. They've changed the foil discounting, which was a huge complaint that everyone complained about. Because retailers were only getting 14%, and now it's just like everything else, so we don't have to be the bad guys. And the prices on the cover differently. The changes to like midnight. First of all, they're committing to FOCing the second issue after the first issue has been on stands for a week.
That's
Shocking.
a tough one. It's tough though. It's tough to pull off as a print. I mean, getting things.
I
printed.
get it, especially you're going to be like, this is going to be a huge print run. Like I assume that, but that gives retailers confidence in it, and they've changed discount structure for it. They're not doing like the weird. Marvel's always had these complicated things where if you order 125% of this title, you'll get this discount. And they're just like, order 25 of them, you get an extra 5%. It's like, what? Okay. Like,
that
okay.
was, you know what? That was David Gabriel. And I think it came from a time when you were really just trying to get retailers' attention. And if you got their attention, you could sell them more. And so he would get your attention by making you do a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
I think after a while, it's just too much. People, it doesn't.
I was just going to say, you don't get my attention by making me do math. You get my hatred by making me do math. I will like not support your project if you make me do math. Oh.
You and my 11-year-old have a lot in common. That's
but yeah, there seems to be a real desire to do different things, and I love it. Like that's. As far like even they're doing compact, I think they're even calling them Marvel compacts that are going to be in the DC compact format. Like, yes, do the stuff that works. I love it.
It's about time.
Hopefully, this is something that'll work. We'll see.
Speaking of Marvel,
gosh, did you happen to hear any of this D23 news?
It was one of those days where every other thing on social media was D23, and I gave it the same attention I gave everything else on social media, which is I just kind of went,
all right, yeah. So it's pretty obvious that then, like, I think they've called it the Mutant Saga is the next phase of the Marvel franchise stuff, and they revealed the cast, and honestly, I didn't recognize half of them because I'm an old now. So these are young people who are really, popular with the youngs. I did recognize Adam Driver. I think he's going to be Mr. Sinister. And they've staked out the first Saturday in May 2028, which I want to say is May 5th, as X-Men Day. That's when the X-Men is going to be released. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
That's good. So, Free Comic Book Day happening on a big movie launch day. That's a formula that we know works, right? We know that puts butts in seats. It brings people into comic shops. I will tell you, one of my singular experiences as a comics retailer was I convinced our local movie theater to let us build a little retail store in their lobby for the release of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and the first one. And I swear to God, they would come out of that theater like locusts and just take everything. We were going and like buying out Toys R Us, just whatever it had with Spider-Man's logo on it, just so that we would have something.
Yeah,
we sold Ultimate Spider-Man like it was like nothing. It was an incredible time. I loved that time.
yeah, that was good times. Good times.
Yeah, but it would be nice. Let's get the Utes. Let's get them reading Marvel comics and not just DC. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the Marvel stuff has got as much, if not more, name brand recognition amongst those kids. I mean, I remember going to my son's school when he was in like grade 4 or 5, and like every single kid was wearing a T-shirt that would have gotten them beat up at my high school or my public school. It was like, oh my God. And then like the 3 kids wearing sports shirts were getting teased by all. Who's a Blue Jay? I just really like birds. Marvel is going back to the well with blind bags again. It's all Marvel all the time, baby. So they've announced their blind bag variant covers program, and what's interesting is there's been a lot of complaint about some other variant cover programs having the A covers in them and the B covers and the open order covers, and Marvel has said we will not have any open order covers in these things. So that's kind of fun. That's
that's cool,
entertaining.
Yeah. You're gonna get a hit, right? That's what the trading card breakers call it. When you get a hit, like that's a little dopamine hit, I guess.
Yeah, so, for sure.
That's
great. On top of that, you're getting a good book by Chip Zdarsky.
Let's go, our boy Chip.
Yeah,
we love Chip.
So.
Awesome. Well, fantastic, man. I mean, it'd be nice to have people care about the Avengers again. That'd be good.
Yeah, well,
this is so weird. I don't understand this. How do you mean it goes badgeless? How does this even work? I kept meaning to look this one up.
So they announced that they're going to do electronic badges only, which means you don't pick up a badge. You just bring your phone and you show your phone. Just like, I mean, Ticketmaster went electronic years ago, right? So it's the same thing, just no badges, which I'll be interested to see, because I didn't really pay attention to the backlash, but I'm interested to know like how many people are going to be upset that souvenir thing disappears. Because I mean, I have a whackload of those things. Now, mind you, I just threw out like 10 years worth of them about a year ago because I had so darn many of them. But yeah, like it's a souvenir kind of thing that you keep around. So we'll see how this goes.
I traditionally just at the end of every show just throw my badge away because I enjoy that like freedom of I don't need shit. I don't need stuff, But I did, speaking of Baltimore Comic Con, I did keep my badge for the first year that we did Comics the Magazine in any sort of fashion, which was at Baltimore. And so I have that one hung up right over here.
Yeah.
See it. So, yeah.
You should get that signed by all the CTM crew.
That's a good idea. I really should.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. I'll sell it up on Whatnot or something. Yeah. Anyway. Why are we promoting somebody else's Kickstarters?
Well, I'll tell you why. $300,000 is why. This thing's made $300,000, and I think it may be more at this point, but I can't tell because Kickstarter shows up in Canadian dollars for me. So if somebody else could tell us what the number is at right now. Really cool looking Kickstarter program from Pan Universal Galactic Worldwide, who does a lot of really great 3D renditions of comics, and which I wish would get more attention because I buy them and they sell quickly. Because as soon as people get them in their hands, they're like, "Oh, this is cool! It's a really nice package." So yeah, these guys have done really, really well with this, and it looks.
Can I tell you? So I had I'm kidding about why we're promoting this. Part of the reason why I was excited to promote this is inside of there, and I was going to try and pull this up, but I'm not as good at it as you are. Inside of that campaign is, I think, the hidden gem inside of there. Don't get me wrong, Jim Lee's incredible, X-Men we all love, but inside of that campaign is a product that I think all on its own could probably double that what they're making on this particular campaign if they focused on that product. And I'm just giving this away. Pug, if you're listening, I know I already told you this. They're these comic book covers, right? They're doing them about
the tiny little ones. Yeah.
Right. They're a little bigger than trading card size, right? And they come with a tiny short box.
Oh, that's clever. That's really clever.
Tell me you don't want the cover. You don't want a little short box on your desk that you flip through, look at your favorite covers, show them off, alphabetize them, like just as a fidget toy. Tell me you don't want that. That's the winner here, Pug. The tiny covers. That's the winner. All right. There you go.
Tiny covers are the winner. I was going to try and
bags
share.
And board. You put bags of board. You put them in little tiny bags and boards. Tell me you don't want to do that.
And then you corner the market on tiny bags and boards. Okay.
Yeah.
And now you got a new revenue. Who can just take this? This is just, we're giving these ideas away. They're free.
This is Gabby. Gabby, my partner, Gabby. She doesn't even collect comics and she wants that. This is what I'm talking about. This is, this is what I'm saying. You gotta, those things, how that's not like the number one focus of this campaign, I do not know, but I know that that's the, it's not the only thing I want. Of course I want to flip through that book, but I kind of just want to play with them anyway.
I love it.
All right, cool. All right, what's next?
Let's get to the meat of our show.
Let's do it.
Let's
actually, we're gonna do a little bit here, and then we're gonna do a little bit more later, if that's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I didn't know that part.
Well, it's because you weren't on early enough when Trevor and I made that call.
Hey, Trevor, I may have added some slides. You may need to move things around. You better take a look at things while I start running through slides.
So you look at, well, yeah, we're good. We're fine. I'm looking at it now. We're fine. We're good. All right.
First, we're going to have a guest.
If you have ever been in Baltimore, let's say you went to Baltimore Comic-Con and you go through, you listen to the ice cold water guy who stands outside. He goes, ice, 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 cold, 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 water, water, water. You get through that guy, right? You go upstairs and you talk to the really nice people. Maybe you're even so lucky as to get Shelly to get you your badge, right? And then you go, maybe you stay up there, you do a panel because you already climbed those stairs once. And then you go downstairs, you go down into the basement, into Comic-Con itself. And you walk in and you immediately see all the dealers because it is a dealer, very friendly show. You can see off in the distance, you see an incredible artist alley. You see legitimately one of my favorite show floors anywhere in the world. And on the loudspeaker, you hear a voice. And that voice says, "This is your
welcome to the Baltimore Comic-Con." Thank you.
That's amazing.
Welcome, Brad. Welcome, Brad Tree, Director of Operations and the voice of Baltimore Comic-Con, one of my favorite conventions. I'm really not kidding. It's
well, thank you for all of the kind words, Adam. We put it on as a labor of love. It really is a show for comic fans, put on by comic fans.
100%, and it feels that way. One of the things I have often said in my post-Baltimore post is just how much of community Baltimore feels like to me. It feels like family, and I have a story I want to tell before we finish this off. But
sure.
But I will say the thing that I love most about what you guys do is it's. Every year we see the same faces. Every year you guys are so committed to the comics and so committed to the show and to the fans that show up that it legitimately become one of my favorite moments. It's the only one that Gabby comes with me to. So there you go. It is family for us. So yeah.
There are a few guests of ours who regularly come with family. We refer to it as kind of like the Ringo Awards dinner is like the family reunion dinner on Saturday night. Where people get together. I know a number of people who like bring their kids. It's certainly a family affair for me. My two sons are now 28 and 25, and they've been obviously coming to the show since they were very young, and now they help me do some significant parts of it. My older son coordinates most of our volunteer staff and is trying to take my job from me most years. He's already taken over the mic. People are mistaking the two of us for each other on occasion. I still maintain my voice is deeper, but he will argue at that point. And my younger son Jackson is a huge cosplay fan, and really he just finds himself everywhere, fixing problems wherever they creep up. It is strange. It's the only weekend of the year that I let them call me Brad instead of Dad, because if you yell Dad across the showroom floor, 1,000 heads turn around.
Exactly.
There's only a few Brads. So it's definitely a family show. We've focused our attention on that really since day one. Mark wanted it to be a family show. Sunday is probably technically the official kids' day. That's the kids under 12 free day with their parents. And we try to focus our kids programming that day. Our kids cosplay is that day. And so, but really all weekend long, we're for all ages.
Tell me about Mark, Nathan, and Shelly. Like, tell us about the story about the show, about Cards, Comics, Collectibles. How does this show get started and become such an institution?
Well, Mark has had a store in the Baltimore area for now over 40 years, and he's hosted in Reisterstown. The store is Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. And as I understand the story, and I may get a detail or two wrong here, but as I understand the story, Mark was a retailer who had his own shop, and he would travel to other shows. And he was bothered that Baltimore did not have its own Comic-Con, that we had, there were other things around, Star Trek, et cetera, but not its own Comic-Con. So he decided to put one on. And he put it on in the local Hittin for the first 2 years, and it went gangbusters. We were always proud of that second year because the horrible events of 9/11 went down, and canceling. Boy, I'm going to butcher the initials now. It canceled the SPX show in DC.
Oh, right.
And so just a few weeks later, when our show was up and running, we expanded and we included folks from SPX into our floor. And so it's really a sense of comics community that's been there since day one. We grew enough so that in year 3, we moved to the Baltimore Convention Center. And really the show has just continued to grow from there, expanding into more and more of the center, consuming more and more of the city. Hotel rooms and people coming in, not just from the tri-state area. I guess there's a lot of tri-state areas, not just from the DMV, Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware. Yeah, there we go. But also from, international. I got a guy, you may know Henrik. Henrik's been coming in from Norway for like 18 years or something. I got guys coming in from the islands and really folks from all over are coming out to the show. So I'm rambling though now. But in essence, really Mark wanted to have a comic book gathering in his town.
Yeah.
And so we put the energy and the backing into making it happen.
Oh, that's wonderful. So talk about what that energy and backing looks like. Because one of the things I love about the show is that it is simultaneously such a dealer room show. Like it's obviously the retailers value it and show up, and they bring really fantastic collections and they do displays, but it's got one of the best artist alleys of any convention that I go to. And I, as a publisher, we go there to cast, to meet new artists. Yeah. Talk about how you guys think about that in building the show.
Well, I think that the thing that's obvious to the retailers is that when you walk into the show, you are walking into our retailer space. It's where the heart of the show is in many respects. The main entrance delivers you right into the primary alley full of retailers, and the surrounding aisles are also retailers. As you build out and as you expand through the hall, then you come across your artists, and you come across our guests, our guest artists, creators, and then you come across publishers and the Hero Initiative and large groups of artists with agents and so on. And so really it's a retailer centric show that's built out. And as for our guest list, I'll put our guest list up against anyone in the country. Heroes did a hell of a job this year with their guest list. I would agree. I think ours is rivaling that. if not exceeding. A little friendly rivalry with our friends in Charlotte, and but I think our guest list kicks tail all over the country. I think by the time I'm done counting, if you include our guests and our Artist Alley participants, we probably have between 300 and 400 creators in the room. And I will tell you that it has become an art show in many respects. I've had any number of professionals, people who've been doing shows in comics for 20, 30, 40 years, tell me that the show they did at Baltimore was the greatest show they had ever had. These are people who are legends in our industry, who should be doing great everywhere, but they don't get the attention that they get in Baltimore elsewhere. Our emphasis is on creators, artists. We throw we put together a yearbook every year. We're now on 15, I believe. This year's subject is Eric Larson's Savage Dragon. We work with an independent creator every year, and then we invite our guests, our other artist guests in the room, to do a mashup with the subject IP, in this case the dragon or any of the characters in the book, and to mash them up with their characters and to do pinups for the book. And then we sell the book. People can wander the show getting autographs. It's a built-in souvenir. It's a built-in collectible, if you will, and it's really, really wonderful. It's always a nice debate with me and the rest of the staff as to who we're going to go after next year or who's next. And we're very lucky this year to get Eric. He's been about 10 years since Eric's been at the show, and very happy that Eric made it out this year and is allowing us to make the book about the dragon. So
awesome. Well, I cannot wait. We're at, I think about a week or so out, but from announcing what our plan is for Baltimore this year. We're doing it upright. Awesome. So really looking forward to having that conversation and seeing you guys. I have a personal testimonial about Baltimore that I'm going to tell at the very end of the show. I do a little thing at the end. I think that's what it was going to be this time around. But I want to be mindful of your time. I know that you had a short window for us. Where can people find you, and how should they be getting tickets to Baltimore this year?
Well, everything about the show is centrally located at BaltimoreComicCon.com. It's all the C's are in there. There's no dashes, but BaltimoreComicCon.com. And I will say that as I sat down to prepare for this appearance, there were just a couple of points I wanted to make to folks without sounding like I'm on the couch with, if I say Carson, I'm going to indicate my age. But we're all, I mean, just to promote. I mean, I've got a celebrity announcement that we're going to put on a website later today, and it's actually going to be exclusive to you first. Oh. But we've picked up Rebecca Romaine, cast member of Avengers Doomsday, Mystique in 3 X-Men films, and not to mention the current #1 on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We're very proud that Rebecca's going to join us, because while we have 300-400 artists in the room, we also have a flavoring of celebrity, media celebrity that's in the room. And Rebecca Romaine is going to be one of those high.
That's a good flavor.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
good essence.
With along with Rebecca, we've got some great folks like Katie Sackhoff and Aaron Douglas and Grace Park, who were all part of Battlestar Galactica and The Mandalorian and 100 other things on TV. Hawaii Five-0 for Grace Park, and then voiceover guys as well. If you were a fan of the Boondocks, we got the fellow who's played Uncle Ruckus, Gary Anthony Williams, and one of his pals, Cedric Yarbrough, who was not only in Boondocks, but also a number of other live action films, TV shows. And then a show I have no familiarity with because I'm an old white man, but it's called The Amazing Digital Circus. And it's my
I too am an old white man, but I know this one. My 11-year-old took me to the movies.
Yeah. Exactly. And as has Mark's family, have become huge fans of The Amazing Digital Circus. And we have 2 of their stars, Marissa Lenti and Alex Rochon. who are going to be joining us at the show. So BaltimoreComicCon.com has all your ticketing information. You guys mentioned that Jim Lee Kickstarter earlier. Jim is a guest at the show. Tickets still available. We just announced Chris Claremont. Hell, this week alone, we added Chip Zdarsky, Dave Johnson, the Reverend Dave Johnson.
Yes.
And there's one more name I wanted to mention that we just added. Eric Powell. Eric Powell committed this week. So, we're still adding guests a little bit to our map maker's chagrin. Where are we going to put all these guys? But all these people. And I guess I should just not mention, because it's probably, I don't know, you guys are the comics retailing experts. I'm just a fan who reads some books here and there. But it seems to me this whole DC Absolute universe may have made some impact this year.
A little bit.
It's got some legs. So,
we've put together a group of people involved in that line, including Jason Aaron, Scott Snyder, Che Grayson, Raphael Albuquerque, and Pornsak Picochet, whose name I'm sure I've just butchered. But the team on Absolute Green Arrow, the writer for Absolute Catwoman, and of course Jason Aaron and Scott Snyder, who've written everything. So I'm, like I said, and I appreciated your comment earlier about our guest list. I'll put our guest list up against anybody.
Well, I will tell you, I don't know, I don't know if you can see the chat, but my 11-year-old who's coming, this would be his first show that's not New York Comic Con, is psyched about Amazing Digital Circus. So, awesome. I feel he's, we're excited now. That's quite the lineup you've got there.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brad.
We are thrilled to have you. And if you have any questions, we got there's a general email address contact there. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions.
Awesome.
And of course, we're all over social media. So
thanks so much for coming by, Brad. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
well, there we go. Somebody's pushing the button.
Yeah, that's an amazing lineup. I'm just looking at the guest list right now, and it's just like it's just banger after banger. It's insane. Yeah.
Also, Rekka will be there with The Future Is, and we have a really fun idea for how we're going to give away stuff like this. So you should check that out. Also, Comics the Magazine is going to be there. We're all going to be talking about, different stuff. Like I said, there's an announcement next week. We've got some ideas about how to make things fun. But man, I'm hyped. I'm so hyped for this show. You should come.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. September's a little tight for me. There's a lot of things going on in September.
If you want to get this hardcover and you're not coming to Baltimore, hashtag CII Live right there, or it might be right there. I don't know.
Yeah. You got it. You nailed it.
That's right. Because I always forget I'm flipped around. So CII Live.
I think you got a 1 in 2 chance right now. So get those in, folks.
A little better than that.
Get those in.
That's pretty close. Awesome. What is happening next? Oh, you know what, Brian? I don't know if you know this.
I don't.
Comic book retailers, man, they have a really hard job.
It's tough.
They have a really difficult job. That not only do they have to open the store and vacuum every day, they gotta some days they don't know they're gonna open the store. Does anybody show up? They don't know, right? Aside from our data last week, apparently every day is going up, but still, all this say you don't know. So you have so much to do, and you still have to order an insane amount of SKUs every week, and you do it with so little data. I don't know how you guys do it. It is really, really difficult. So turns out we are going to do our part. We wanted to give you just straight from the horse's mouth why certain books you should be ordering. But you know what? Don't take my word for it.
Hi, my name is Ken True. I am the writer and co-creator of Overkiller.
Hi, my name is Kevin Tran, and I am the artist / co-creator of Overkiller.
If you enjoy Kill Bill set in a bombastic world like the Ninja Turtles, then you should please check out our comic Overkiller.
Yeah, it'll be in shop September. We're really proud of the book, and we are really excited to see it out in the wild. We can't wait.
Hi there, my name's Adriano from Pesto Comics. I'm the writer of Snip. It's a series coming out this fall. It's actually a 5-part series about traveling through time and snipping out those people that are just a little bit of a problem. But what happens when they find out that the problem is you? So this series is actually coming out in 2 forms. On September 26th for local comic shop day, you could pick up an early advanced release copy, or you can find it in stores everywhere on October 7th.
2 good books that are a great addition to any shelf, I think. I'm really excited to see Overkiller. I think those guys have a big opportunity, and the fact that they are in the Cosmic Lion catalog says a lot about them already. Plus, it's a great looking cover, isn't it?
That looks like Cully Hamner. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
the big chunky, that's really cool.
And Snip, Adriano, God, I love this kid. He just makes really great comics. He sells them like they're as exciting as we all know they are. So I, got to pick up Snip. Please, if you're a comics retailer, if you're looking for opportunities to try a couple new items, you could do a whole lot worse in that catalog. Believe me, I take a look at it every month. Oof,
absolutely.
Sometimes.
All right, one more time. Let's get people in here and hitting the hashtag. Hashtag again is CII Live. We're giving this away in 18 minutes. 18 minutes, people.
It's got look at that. Look at that spot gloss. That's a spot gloss designed by Ryan Hughes, is what that is. I don't know if anybody but me. Oh yeah, sorry.
Do it one more time.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
also,
gorgeous.
look at this. Oh, we don't want to look at that. But yeah, look at the gorgeous design. Look at these pages. These are fantastic. Anyway, this is a good time. You're gonna enjoy it. It's also got CTFs, or known as capture the flag. Little challenges that'll teach you something about hacking. You'll be smarter after reading this comic.
And who doesn't want to be smarter? And I promise you,
dumb people.
Minimal math. There's some math, though. I'm not gonna lie. The CTFs
There's a little bit of math.
Often have some math involved. All right, so let's continue with our picks for the hidden shows you aren't going to. If I would have been smarter, I would have alternated these, but you're going to start it with Heroes Convention.
Heroes Con is in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's in June every year. It is oftentimes on the same weekend as Father's Day, which is a little bit of a bummer if you're a father, and part of the reason we do it. But I will say that it is the other show. If there are 2 shows I have to hit every year to talk to as many amazing creators as possible, it's Heroes and Baltimore. Heroes specifically because they fly in everybody and then ask them for one piece of art that they didn't do at this amazing art auction that they used to pay for next year's flying in everybody. Anyway, it's a fantastic show. Charlotte is wonderful. The food is always fantastic. It's come on, you gotta give it up to Sheldon and his crew.
I don't want to spoil those auctions, but those are often ways to get like amazingly good deals on original art. Man, I've won some crazy stuff at auctions that I figured were going to go for hundreds of dollars more than I ended up paying. Yeah,
but it also goes the other way too. Sometimes there was a print that I bought from this artist. Man, I can't find it. I bought from the artist, and the next day the same print went for like 6 times that at the auction. And I went back and he raised the price. I'm like, really? He goes, what? That's the market. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Okay.
C2E2. We've both been.
I know this is a bigger show. This is put on, but C2E2 is put on by Reed Pop, which is the people who own New York Comic Con, and they also own Emerald City. Like, they're a big company, massive company. But this show was created by real fans, like people who understand how fandom works, who understand comics, and they really set a standard for a show that is fan first, And it's a really good, I would say, of the bigger shows, is one of my favorite artists. Sally's. Chicago itself is such a fantastic show for comic shops, or city for comic shops. I love this show. Once again, the food in Chicago is Brian was there when I had a transcendent bite of a sandwich once. It was still, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
C2E2, I think, has my favorite large show artist alley
Yep.
because like it's so nicely spread out. You never feel like you're like crowded. And
Oh,
you're like you turn your head and you're like, oh, it's Javier
yeah.
Rodriguez. Oh, it's Chip
Yeah.
Zdarsky. Oh, it's Simon Bisley. I sat there and talked to Simon Bisley for 20 minutes, just like
Yes.
joking. And he's like, I'm the one that tells the jokes, Mike. And he was so funny. He was hilarious.
Oh,
But yeah,
I
like
love it.
it was great. It was great. Yeah, that's a really, really good show. And Chicago is probably my favorite US city. Like, I'm sorry, New York, but I think I like Chicago more.
I kind of don't. I just don't go in January, dude. I did that once. Never again.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
live in Ontario, so
That's a good point. You don't. Yeah. Whatever.
it does
Yeah.
get like the wind is surprising though. It's like surprisingly biting. But I think of all the US cities, it's probably the one that I would live in if I didn't live in Canada.
Yeah, I buy that.
There you go.
I buy that.
That's
Yeah.
my that's my
I could live
Chicago
there.
take.
All
And I
right.
think I've been to 20 some odd comic shops in Chicago.
There are a lot of comic shops and a lot
Yeah.
of really great ones. Are honestly,
Yeah.
you can't talk about enough about them. Our
And we
next
just
pick.
talked about Baltimore Comic
We did just talk about Baltimore Comic Con. That's our next pick. The one right after this, I think this is the one you put on. What's next? What's after Baltimore? Oh, yeah, Baltimore. I'm going to tell a story. When we close out the show, I'm going to tell about a story about why I feel such an emotional connection to Baltimore. I want to take a bit out. But once again, food. I think part of it is the food towns are the ones that I absolutely am drawn. They make better conventions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
I've been
that
to
I love them
Baltimore.
because they're food towns, or is it because the convention gets good because it's a food town? Aha.
That's a great question. I was in Baltimore probably 15 years ago, and I was at a Rails computer nerd convention, and the convention was directly across the street from the is it Camden Park? Is that where the Orioles play? And so I just like ditched the convention one day and watched a baseball game in the afternoon, which was awesome. And then right on the corner of where the baseball stadium is was the Jeppy Museum. So I got to go to the Jeppy Museum, which was so friggin' cool.
Well,
That was awesome.
For a couple decades, Diamond was the center of the comics universe, and they were located right outside of Baltimore. So it was their town. In between, let's talk about Dirk mentions Cherry Capital City Comic Con in Traverse City, Michigan. I have always wanted to go to this show. They invite me every year, and every year I go, I want to go, and I never actually do. So anyway, I love those guys. They're fantastic. Every time I see them in the at other shows. So yeah.
And that brings us to Motor City Comic Con, which is also in Michigan.
I've never been.
It's in Detroit. Very cool show. I've been a couple times. It's much smaller, but really, really like accessible artist alley, great vendors. You can find really good deals there still. But yeah, I like that show just because it's kind of smaller. It's a couple days. I think it's only 2 days. It's not like a 3-day show, although it may have changed recently. And like I saw James O'Barr there. I've seen Vince Locke there a number of times. Like some of my favorite like 90s dudes who are just like hanging out in artist alleys. So yeah, this is one of my little gems.
I like it.
I
like it a
shouldn't be
lot.
telling people about that one because then they'll go and run it. Fan
This is a
Expo
controversial
Canada,
choice.
which is next weekend. Why is it controversial?
I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. Is it a comic show though? Is Fan Expo Canada really I mean, don't get me wrong. I will tell you that like I met Chip Zdarsky by going to the Raid Studios tour right after this show one year. It's a great town for comics. But like, is it a comic show?
I think it's a little bit of everything. So it's got like celebrities, animation, anime, but like they put on the Toronto Comic Con in the spring that is kind of mostly comics, and then this one is more of a pop culture show. But man, dude, the creators they have, like last year they had Frank Miller. I think they have Frank Miller this year. They have Frank Miller this year. They have
Okay.
Joe Quesada. They have Greg Capullo, Tom
All right.
King, Raphael Albuquerque, Carrie Andrews, Bengal, the absolute Catwoman dude, Mark
Yeah.
Brooks, Dennis Cowan. Like, it is stacked with guests. So there's always like a good number, and it's not just Canadian guests because there's going to be Jeff Lemire and Steve McNiven, of course. But there's also like a lot of great international guests too. So yeah, it's the show that every year I say I'm not going to go to because there's about 180,000 people there, and that's a lot of people
It's a lot of
in the
people.
convention space.
It's a lot of
But every
apologizing
year I
people.
end up going, oh my God,
Because they're all
there's
Canadian.
so much. Dude, there's so much. Oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry, pal. Sorry, man. Sorry. It's
All right,
exhausting. We are the most exhausting. Okay, last one. And Jamie Coville brought this one up, and I totally spaced on it. But it is. So you said that Heroes Con is Father's Day. This is traditionally Mother's Day weekend. So we miss it a lot of the times. But sometimes when it's not Mother's Day weekend, we go to it. And it used to be in the Toronto Reference Library. These are 3 different pictures of the Toronto Reference Library. It's a 4-story library, and the artists were around the outside of every floor, and it was frigging spectacular. And then it got so big that they also moved across to the Masonic Temple, and they had another thing somewhere else. Now, though, because they moved out of this, they got too big for it. So they've moved into the Maple Leaf frickin' Gardens, which is now called the Madam B Athletic Center, some corporate thing. But it's like the mecca of hockey. So you have comics inside of the mecca of hockey. Like most Canadians, that is their definition of nirvana, if you're a nerd and like hockey. So yeah, there you go.
Very much like I can't remember the other Canadian show that happens inside of that stadium. Anyway, yeah. Also run by our good friend Amy Wright, who once again glows when she walks in the room. So
yeah, absolutely. This is your last chance, people. Get your tag in right now.
Hashtag CII Live.
We're not giving you another chance. We're not even going to talk about it anymore.
And that's not happening. It's going to sneak up on you at the end. All right. Yeah. Thank you. If you are, just to sum that up, you got to go to more comic shows. You got to go. Yeah. You got to go and be part of the culture, be part of the experience, be the experience for somebody else. You're going to make it even that much better. All right, let's go. The Prana bestseller list is a project we've been working on for several years now with our partners, Managed Comics and Comic Shop Assistant. We are getting more and more data out of their data every single month. This month, we actually did our State of the Direct Market. We were able to start doing monthlies. This week, much like every other week, we are talking about what's selling in comic shops. That's right. Over 600 shops, over 80,000 consumers are represented in this data. And our good friend Sean from the Comics Pals is here to talk about it. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. I'm doing quite well, as always. Very excited to get in here. And I went to Heroes Con this year, so I caught the bug. And I'm thinking about some of those conventions you guys just talked about making my first appearance.
I think you got to come down to Baltimore next month, my friend. It is a good time, and you can take a train.
You are the third person who has asked about me going to Baltimore.
This is what I'm saying. It's it's gonna happen. By the way, Tyler says hi. So there you go.
Oh, hey Tyler, good to see you.
Also, yeah, somebody right here in New York. All right, let's get into it. How were comics this week, my friend? What happened in the comic shops?
Boy, oh boy, let's talk about it. So when we look at the market share, it's fascinating to me because you've got DC and Marvel absolutely neck and neck, 3% apart. When was the last time we saw the number that close, right?
That's real close.
So that's incredible. I love that. IDW, Image is where Image always is, but IDW really kind of rising up on the back of something no one would expect. Hello Kitty. Come on. Hello Kitty number 1.
Let's
go.
It
was good. It was good, by the way, Adam.
All right.
So, super interesting story about Hello Kitty too.
Why is that pointed at me? I didn't judge your Hello Kitty fandom. You enjoy whatever it is you need to enjoy as a 13-year-old girl. It's okay.
See, there you go. I only read it because the listeners demanded it, and
Fair.
I was rewarded with a good comic.
Man of the
I
people.
got you.
Man of the
There you
people right
go.
there. So what's really interesting about the Hello Kitty is it was polybagged with one of 3 or was it 4 collectible sticker sheets. And my 21-year-old daughter desperately wanted one of these, so I gave it to her. And she was super excited that she got cinnamon roll, which I guess is something really exciting for somebody that loves the Hello Kitties. And yeah, she was like, "Yeah, this was worth it. This was right here. It was worth it just for this little sticker sheet."
And if you
So yeah,
remember when that was announced, we talked about this, and our big prediction is that's going to be the next wave of blind bags. It's
yeah.
not just going to be the comic itself, it's going to be whatever is packed in. They're called pack-ins. Whatever is packed in with that comic, that's going to be next year's big thing, So I think this is
It's
just
already been happening. Like Marvel's Magic the Gathering card that was with the
right.
Avengers. People bought that was Avengers Armageddon. People bought that just because of the card. The number of stores I was in when people were going in to look for it, and they were like, "Are you buying it for the comic or the card?" And they were like, the card." But I'm going to read the comic. It was surprisingly a lot. But yeah, that's great.
What else are we looking at here, Sean?
Ignition Press. We're looking at Ignition Press, who are really showing me something this summer. They have pushed out so many new number ones with really talented creators that you don't see everywhere. There aren't a ton of Stephanie Williams indie books out there, for example. If you want that from Stephanie, you got to read Ignition Press. Leah Williams, same thing, and certain others. So Ignition Press with a very nice 1.49%, which we've seen them ticking up over the last few weeks here.
We sure have. In fact, you and I just did we're going to talk about that in a minute, but we just did our pull box power rankings for the newest issue of CTM, and they were on that list. They are in. I mean that is really fan focused. That is them. Yeah. The fans are showing up for Ignition and putting them on the subscriptions. You can't fake that. You can't buy that with, investor burn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That you really need to have readers. I also think that that's interesting because they have such a different model in that their creators, the creators you're talking about, they have a deal where they are taken care of, on a monthly basis, almost like a salary in return for all the creator owns go through Ignition. They still own it. They still own part. I mean, it's a creator-owned deal like anybody else, but it all goes through Ignition. I think that's fascinating. It's a fascinating model.
Yeah. It's a really good roster. Cullen Bunn, Rob Guillory, Dennis Hopeless. Like just a great little. Yeah, it's awesome.
How did our friends Massive Publishing end up here on this list? They're new to this list.
Yeah, Massive being on here really surprised me. I genuinely can't remember the last time I saw Massive do anything. They had Heavy Metal out this week that we're looking at.
Okay.
Heavy Metal number 6, but that's the only thing that I noticed on the list from Massive. So I guess that must have done quite well for them.
I guess.
It was number 59 on the top 400.
I also will say that I think that their publishing aggregation, or what they call sub distribution, I think a lot of their publishers are underneath their title, which is how they end up on this list as well. But good for them. That's even 0.64%. That's saying a lot. That's a top 10. That's a top 10 publisher. So good job, Calero. Welcome to the list. Awesome. Well, let's dig into the top sellers.
Yes.
All right. So absolute Batman. Shocking.
Winning the
shocking
week.
Entry at number 1. Yes.
Yep. Sorry. No surprises there. Although there are surprises here. So Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 1 doing well. Huge shout out to Marvel, Brian Hill on that one. I love Brian Hill. He's such a talented writer. So him getting this is great for him. Marvel did very well this week, within 3% of DC. But if you look at this top 10, it doesn't tell that story because they only had 3 entries here. And when you expand out to the top 20, it doesn't get that much better. Marvel does well with volume. Once you start getting into that top 25, top 30 space, you start to see Marvel dominate it. And that's what I noticed this week, was that even though the top 10 does not favor Marvel, once you go beyond that, you start to see them popping up even more.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And those are three pretty big books. Like those are all books that we have about 20% of our customers get each one of those books. So that's a big number. And conversely, like, well, Batman's in its second week. Absolute is obviously like a ton of our customers, but Batman and Robin Year One, I think, was probably our third most pulled book last week. So yeah, this all makes sense.
Also, Hello Kitty on this top 10 list. Impressive. Impressive. Once again, it says that the demographics that are going into comic shops are just shifting. There's no question about it, right? We're seeing that everywhere that it's measured.
This is one of those ones that'd be interesting to see the fan confidence versus because we didn't have a ton of pre-orders on this, but I went fairly heavy on it and we sold out. So I think you probably saw the same thing from a lot of retailers. Not really a big pre-order number, but a lot of interest.
Awesome. Well, Sean, thanks so much for being here. We're going to try and keep this one tight this week. We're already over the tight 60, so we're gonna try and button this one up. By the way, Sean not only does our commentary here week to week, but he is also we're going to let him pitch his own channel here in a second. But he's also our commentator on the Pull Box Power Rankings inside of Comics the Magazine each month. This month you killed it, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So good. Such a good job. Tell us where they can find you pontificating about comics on a regular basis.
Thank you so much for having me. As always, it's a pleasure. I can be found on the YouTube channel, The Comics Pals, with my buddies. We talk about comics every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We review the books that you're reading. Saturdays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern, we talk about the industry that you love, the comic book industry. You guys talked about Star Wars and Marvel's crossover. We went deep into that one last week on the show, diving into the news so far and our thoughts on it. So go check that out.
Awesome. We will. Fantastic. Thank you, Sean. We will see you next week. And as always, let's get into it. If you like this kind of data, if you think you need more of this in your life, you want to see beyond the top 10, check out the Prana Bullet. It's our weekly newsletter that goes out to everybody who loves comics as much as we do. It is free. All you got to do is go to pranadm.com or take out your phone right now and scan that little QR code. That'll get you that. Sign up, get you the very next one. Megan does an amazing job on this each week. What's next?
It's amazing. Comics the Classifieds. Let's talk about those.
Let's classified ads have gone away. We are bringing them back. You should be subscribing. It's only $20 to $25 to get to your message in front of 25,000 people. Do that math. How much is that? How much is what you're there? You go. Look at that.
There's classifieds. There's classifieds right there.
Right there. There you go. And I hear there's something new coming for classifieds very soon. I hear.
That's what the rumor is. That's what I've heard too. That's
what the rumors are telling us. All right.
I think people got to pay attention to that because that's going to be a doozy when that comes
Go to
out.
classifieds at comicsthemagazine.com and we will get you into our next issue. Chris Yates, if you're out there, is laying right in his inbox. He's gonna help you out. All right, cool. Next. Oh, Comics the Magazine.
Put Comics the Magazine on your polls.
You gotta the only thing that way this works is two things. One, if you're a fan of comics, if you're a comic shop owner, you gotta buy the book. You gotta buy the book from your comic shop owner. You gotta put us on your pull sheet. Go in and say, I want this in my pull box every month. It's simple, right? Or get on our mailing list, scan that. If you're a publisher, right, or you're a creator, or you're somebody who's working in comics, how about a classified? How about an ad? The only way we can put this thing together is with your support. And as an industry, we needed this thing, so we built it for you, and we want to keep it going. So please sign up. Let's go. Next.
And last but not least, every week, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Managed Comics Discord server. Come to Managed Comics Office Hours, where you will talk to Max, who's our head of. Oh, I shouldn't make him head of anything. He's
Yeah.
he's our main
Careful with titles,
help
man.
desk guy. Yeah, I know. We don't have titles, so but yeah, come talk to Max. I usually pop in there as soon as I'm done my inevitable Monday meeting or Thursday meeting at 1 p.m. Also, I just want to tease.
Ooh.
Keep October 22nd between 12 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Eastern open, because we are going to do an event. We will have more details soon, but it's going to have guests. We're going to have lessons. We're going to teach people. Yeah, it's going to be really great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're trying something. We're trying something. So
I
we'll
love the
see how it
sound of
goes.
this. This sounds great. Finally, are you a comics creator? Are you a professional in comics? Are you somebody who makes a living in comics? You are eligible to vote for the Ringos. Now, listen, we are up against some real doozies. We got nominated. Comics and Magazine got nominated for best comics related publication. I mean, they put us in for number 0, which we premiered at their show last year. It was really nice of you guys to do that. Really appreciate it. But I will say the fact that we're there means that you are behind us and that you want this kind of publication. We could use your vote. If you're a professional, please go to the Ringos and vote for us along with everybody else. I think Taylor Esposito's on there. He should win for lettering. So yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, that's a really good little group in best comics related publication.
I know
I
it's
think
real tough.
you got a puncher's chance though.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Everybody's got a puncher's chance.
Yeah, we get it. Only if you vote. All right, let's give this thing away. Let's bring Trevor back out, buddy. What do you think? This is
who's ready to roll this big old wheel.
Do you want to? Should you drop the URL? Like, is that something that I could push, or do you want to share?
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm about to share my screen and hit the button. That's what we're doing.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
All right, who's ready to roll? We're rolling.
Share it. Okay. You got to
put
it
up
there. Oh, here we go.
You're actually rolling.
Oh, look at this. It's already rolling. Let's go. Who is it? Who's it gonna be? Tyler Chin Tanner, the publisher of Wave Blue World. I used to run a comic shop called Brave New World, and every time I have to say the title of his company, I have to pause and talk through it.
Yeah.
Wave Blue World. Congratulations, awesome. Tyler. I don't know if you know who Megan is, but you should drop her a line with your address. We'll make sure to get this thing out to you this week. It's coming at you, buddy. Awesome.
Sweet.
So next week, it looks like we're talking about Dogmen and Babysitters.
Let's go. That's going to be really cool. So yes, an entire generation is coming into comic shops that has never been to comic shops before. And this generation, we've deemed the Dogman generation. These are the kids that grew up reading Dogman, Babysitters Club. They grew up getting things at their scholastic book fairs, and then eventually found comic shops, right? They went through manga and they eventually found us. So how has that generation changed what is being made? Arguably, Absolute Batman does not get made without the Dogman generation going into comic shops. Let's talk. We're going to talk more about how has that generation shifted the kind of comics that we're making and the kind that you get to read. It's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna do a little bit of homework, and I think I can get a couple interviews for us of actual Dogman generation peoples.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Youngest guest ever, maybe so far.
Well, they're not that young, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
My Dogman generation folks are 21 and 18.
Right on.
Like they.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to get it, Dave Pilkey. No, you can't give me Dave Pilkey.
Then I'll get Dave Pilkey. Then I'll get Scott Chandler. I can probably get us, and we'll talk to those folks.
That's great.
That's very, very true. Awesome.
All right. I think it's time for us to leave. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tell a story. I love this. I love telling this story because it's personal to me, and it's about a comics show. It's about a comics convention. In 2019, Let's call it that. It was 19 or 20, something like that. It was 19, I guess. 2019. I was leaving a job. It was kind of one of those mutual, you can't fire me, I quit moments. And I needed to work. I worked in comics. I only know comics. So I went to Baltimore Comic-Con, and I was looking for work, talking to people who I thought I could help, and, you know, trying to hustle up a little bit of work here and there, and got myself an Airbnb that I could walk to. And the thing about Baltimore is you don't know what neighborhood you're walking in. If you walk in one direction, you're going to find a neighborhood that you might not feel comfortable in. And I've been in neighborhoods all over New York and never felt as uncomfortable as I did in this one particular neighborhood. All this to say, I went in to pick up a toothbrush. Long story short, I got my wallet and phone stolen. So I'm out of work. I'm kind of broke, not completely broke, but like I'm kind of broke. Can't get any cash. Can't get to a bank. It's a weekend. Banks are all closed for the weekend. I don't even have my phone. I can't even get an Uber. So I go and I have my laptop with me, and I go and post and say, look, if you're hoping to meet with me, I'm going to be late because it's bad. Like, I lost my wallet, my phone. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. By the end of that day, I had a job offer doing something that I absolutely loved. I had people handing me cash, just saying, don't worry about it. Get through the weekend. I had a ride to the bus that I was taking back because I couldn't get to the bus station because I couldn't get an Uber, didn't have any cash. All the things I needed. And then at the top it all off, the folks at Baltimore Comic-Con invited me to the Ringo Awards so that I could have dinner. And I was touched. The family had taken care of me. Comics had taken care of me. And for that reason, I will, for as long as I can afford to, be a sponsor of the Ringo Awards. I will always go to Baltimore Comic-Con, and I will always have a good time, even if it means I'm just sitting at the Pratt Street Ale House, you know, talking to people about comics. All right. So if you are a member of the comics community, if you have ever helped somebody who needed it, if you're just part of Team Comics, if you're part of the family that we call the comics industry, I'm going to say thank you. Because this week, like me, you saved comics. Namaste, y'all.
Comic Industry Insiders Live is dedicated to retailers, publishers, and fans of the comics industry. The show is a joint production between Prana Direct Market Solutions and Manage Comics. Trevor Richardson is our producer. Have an idea for the show or want to advertise your brand or business on the show? Send us an email at info@pranadm.com. For more information about the show, visit pranadm.com. And thank you for saving comics.